The officials in the Scottish League have long been criticised, and rightfully so. A lot of decisions are unacceptable, and since VAR's introduction, things haven't got better. In today's video, we are going to look at an incident that occurred this weekend, as it has left Celtic fans raging. Not only that, we also will go over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. A coordinated fan protest calling for a fairer deal for supporters made its presence felt across the country this weekend, with banners appearing at grounds in the Premiership and Championship. The Green Brigade unveiled a message during Celtic's 3-1 win over Hibernian, demanding fairer pricing for match-going fans. While many inside the stadium may have viewed it as a standalone message, it has since emerged the protest was part of a nationwide action involving fan groups from clubs including Dundee, Kilmarnock and Partick Thistle. The Green Brigade have tonight shared a graphic on social media setting out the basis of the movement. It highlights rising ticket costs, heavy-handed policing, and a growing sense that fans, despite being the lifeblood of the game, are being priced out and treated as expendable. Celtic are among several top-flight clubs set to raise season ticket prices for the upcoming campaign. While the club points to increasing costs and investment needs, many supporters argue that the game is drifting away from its working-class roots. With Scottish football continuing to boast some of the highest per capita attendances in Europe, the call from fans is simple: don't take our loyalty for granted. The statement shared by the Green Brigade reads, "Fans have been treated as passive financial contributors rather than as valued stakeholders. Ultras groups across Scotland recognise that there is a need for action and have begun coordinating on these issues. Supporter-run food banks, mental health initiatives and vibrant matchday displays are all championed as evidence of the value fans bring. Yet with clubs increasingly reliant on squeezing revenue from their own support, this protest signals a wider reckoning. In a rare show of unity, fan groups have set rivalries aside to highlight a shared concern: that football is becoming less accessible for the very people who give it life." Now for the main story. Referee Colin Stephen has come under fire from a pair of former officials for his handling of the heated clash between Adam Idah and Jack Iredale during Celtic's 3-1 win over Hibernian on Saturday. The flashpoint occurred in the second half when Hibs defender Iredale aggressively grabbed Nicholas Kuhn, drawing an immediate reaction from Adam Idah, who raced in to confront the Hibs man. With tensions rising and both players squaring up, many expected the referee to step in and defuse the situation. Instead, footage from the match shows Stephen watching the altercation develop, only to inexplicably walk backwards as the confrontation escalated. That decision has drawn sharp criticism from Des Rocha and Steve Conroy, both former referees and now hosts of the Ref's View podcast. Posting on X, the pair said, "We've been sent this footage to watch. I'm sorry, but that is very weak refereeing to walk away when a confrontation is occurring. Can't defend that and won't." Their comments have sparked debate online, with many echoing the view that Stephen should have asserted his authority in a key moment. Kuhn and Iredale were eventually yellow-carded. The lack of immediate intervention left the situation to simmer and relied on the players themselves to cool things down. Referees are expected to manage flare-ups decisively, particularly in high-profile matches with intense rivalries and full stadiums. The criticism from Roach and Conroy, who have been outspoken on refereeing standards in Scotland, adds to the scrutiny already facing officials this season. In other news, Kasper Schmeichel was back in between the sticks for Celtic on Saturday. Celtic beat Hibernian to celebrate the title, but one of the first things Schmeichel did upon his return was pick up the ball from the back of the net. Martin Boyle opened the scoring after 25 minutes, but then the champions showcased their attacking might and turned the game around. During Schmeichel's time on the sidelines, rising youngster Viljami Sinisalo donned the gloves, including in the Glasgow derby last week. The Celtic Park faithful got to see for a fair few matches what the 23-year-old is all about, and Pat Bonner shared his thoughts. Pat Bonner delivers Viljami Sinisalo verdict following Kasper Schmeichel's injury. Bonner was a legendary keeper during his time at Celtic, so he knows full well what it takes to perform in the pressure cooker of that role. The keeper-turned-pundit stated that Schmeichel's injury was a bonus from a negative because everyone got to see what their number two is all about, and Bonner likes what he sees from Sinisalo because he thinks the former Aston Villa player can actually do the job. Bonner said, "Just on that goalkeeping situation, at least we now know that Sinisalo can actually do the job when he comes into the team. That injury to Schmeichel allowed that to happen. Before that, we didn't see him really, and we didn't know how he was going to do. That's a bonus from a negative. He is only a kid from a goalkeeping perspective, but he looks the part, and we see what happens next year, he concluded. It will be interesting to see what Rodgers does next season and how quickly he throws his number 2 into the action. This season, you could understand Sinisalo remaining on the bench for the cup matches, but now he has proven that he is ready to defend the League Cup next term. Either way, Sinisalo hasn't looked out of place during his time on the pitch, and it's another nod to Celtic's recruitment. Lastly, Brendan Rodgers' return to Celtic has worked out like a treat. When Rodgers left Celtic for Leicester City in 2019, it left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, and that call made him very unpopular. Fast forward to 2023, and Ange Postecoglou leaves Celtic for Tottenham, as not many expected the Irishman to walk back through the doors, but that's exactly what happened, and it's the best decision Celtic made because of where the club is right now. In that first season of Rodgers' second spell, he won the double, and now Celtic are on course for the treble if they beat Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup final on May 24th. At the recent PFA Awards, Dazen Maeda won the main prize, with Lennon Miller nabbing the Young Players Award. Rodgers was nominated for the Manager's Prize, but that was won by Falkirk's Championship promotion-winning boss John McGlynn. That was discussed by the Open Goal panel, with Gordon Dalziel and James McFadden ruining the timing of the awards because everything was decided before all the trophies are handed out, with fellow pundit Paul Slane telling the panel it was a controversial call. Dalziel stated, "The votes are different. It's like Player of the Year. The votes are in early. You can't take into consideration that it's easy to win a treble. It's a magnificent achievement. Remember, it's the managers who vote for it, right? We don't vote for it. There are two arguments to it. I love the fact that McGlynn, what he has achieved and everything about it. But I don't care what you say, a treble is still an achievement. It's unfortunate for the PFA because it's always earlier, isn't it? Sometimes you look at a player with a really great run at the end of the season, then it gets to the end of the season and you go, he wasn't even in Team of the Year, so it's a difficult one. The problem with the PFA is, see if they wait until the end of the season, everybody has booked their holidays, everybody is away, he concluded. McFadden added, "See, when the votes are in or counted, Falkirk could have lost and McGlynn would have still got Manager of the Year," he said. Open Goal panel think Rodgers should have won Manager of the Year. Celtic have been so utterly dominant, including winning 14 out of the last 15 titles, that it is becoming the norm. But, as Dalziel and McFadden explained, that shouldn't be the case, and what Rodgers is doing is still difficult. That's why the duo stated that if it was up to them, then they would have given Rodgers his flowers and given him the PFA award. Dalziel stated, "It's a hard one. The votes are in before the season ends. You would be peeved off if you did win the treble and you don't get Manager of the Year. As much as everyone will say, well, Celtic have got everything at their disposal. To win the league, fine, because they are the better team and better over the course and distance, fine, no problem. But something can happen in a cup game that can put you out. To win a treble is still very difficult, so if he wins the treble, then I think people would look and think, how can a manager win a treble and still not win Manager of the Year? If Celtic win the treble, I would have gone for Rodgers as Manager of the Year," he said. McFadden added, "I think the big point is that the managers pick who they think is Manager of the Year. Everybody can get upset if they want, but they have picked who they feel has done a great job. But you can't say another treble for Celtic, he is expected to win it. You still need to do it. It is harsh. It's hard to overlook that Rodgers could win another treble. You need to get the votes in and everything organised." What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you have liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.